This is the prettiest cake of yarn ever. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Midwest Stitches channel. This is a channel all about knitting, crocheting, sewing, my small business, making project bags for you all. And today we have a few things to talk about and exciting day because I'm going to reveal my summer bag collection. So let's get started. You can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches or on my website at midweststitches.com. All of those links are going to be below, or I think it's here. I don't know. One of these sides. It's underneath me right now on the screen. And I also have a Ravelry page. You can find that link down below as well. And I also have a spread shop. I don't really talk about that too much. I think I talked about it like last year or whatever. And the link's down below. I have this. So here's my drink for today. If you haven't already grabbed yours, go ahead and grab one in a knitting project or crocheting project. And I have this graphic, which is also on my t-shirt. I'm matching today. I have that in the Spreadshirt shop, so you can get coffee mugs. You can't get this exact mug. This was from my old website, but you can get a coffee mug with that on it. T-shirts, sweatshirts, you know, I think I put just all of the things in there, and I have that graphic in there. So if you didn't know that, you can check out that link down below and see if, you know, if you want this Yarn Nerd logo on something, you can go ahead and grab it there. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't grabbed a drink yet, go ahead and grab one, grab a project to work on, and let's catch up. So I have some finished objects, some sewing finished objects mostly, and a knitting project, and I'm going to update you on a couple things, and then at the end we will go over the bag collection for my summer release. So I'll put a timestamp here on the screen. If you're not really interested in that other stuff and you're just anxious to see what the bags are going to look like, you can skip to that time. So, alrighty. Finished objects. I have a finished pair of socks, y'all. Look at those. I finished my shorties, another pair, of course. So these are Granite State Yarns from her advent calendar. It was the 25th skein, called As Light Passes Through Glass. And I did finish these up last week, so I will be happy to add those to my shorties collection I have going right now. I think this is my 4th pair, I think. So there we have that. And here, just off the blocker, you can see kind of the color gradient. This one has a little bit more on it. And I actually had like 8.5 grams left over from this. It wasn't exactly a 50-gram ball. I tried to split it as best I could from the blanket, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I have a little bit left over to add to the scrap bin. So there's those. And for the sewing that I talked about, I have this huge stack of shorts and pants that I made for myself. So these, I made 3 pairs of pants. And I don't know how well it's showing on the screen. You probably can tell this is the black pair. This is like a dark navy. And then obviously this is a gray. And these are the flared leggings from Green Style Creations. That's the pattern I used. And I did put pockets on all of these. And then for the shorts, I just made a shorts length with the same pattern. And I had a bunch of this double brushed polyester in my fabric stash that I wanted to make pants out of. So that's what I did. And I had some cuts that were too short for the pants. So that's why some have pants and shorts. Like I have the gray and the blue and the black. I have those in pants because I had enough, but these other ones I didn't have enough for pants, so I just did shorts. I'm super happy to have these. These are mostly going to be for working out or just kind of wearing around the house. The pants will probably live in the drawer until winter time unless it's, you know, a little chilly in the house in the summer and I want to wear pants. So I would definitely recommend trying out that pattern. It can be made like this for, a workout type pant, but I've also seen videos online where people have made it with, it's still stretchy. It's still a stretchy material. I don't remember what it was called, but it looks more of like a dressier, stretchy pant material. So the way the gal made them with the material, she dressed it up with like a nice shirt, and it looked just like a nice outfit you would wear to either work or church or just out and about or whatever. So you can definitely do that. It doesn't have to be like a yoga pant type material unless you want it to. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's super cheap, and I don't really like sewing clothes. I'll just say that up front. I've tried to sew like pajama pants in the past using patterns, and I have not had a lot of success with those, mostly because the material that you're using is like a cotton or a flannel, and I just can't get the fit right for my body, and I just don't like the way that it sits on me. But because this is such forgiving material, it's very stretchy. There's quite a bit of negative ease in the pattern. So in the construction is super easy. There's like three or four tutorials, maybe more, online that you can follow for the different styles, because it has different waistbands, pockets or no pockets. You can make it shorts, capris, blah, blah, blah. So if you're interested in making, some custom fit clothing, I would definitely recommend that. And I wanted to say another thing. So the reason I decided to make these is, number one, I have a hard time finding pants, especially the yoga type pants that I like the material. I think I said that before. A lot of them are made with the compression fabric. The double brush polyester does not feel overly restrictive on my body. It's snug. If you've ever had LuLaRoe clothing, when that was a thing, it's that same material. So it's snug, but it's not too tight. It's not uncomfortable, and it's soft. I really love it. If you have any of my yarn cozies, you'll know what it feels like, because that's the same material. So yeah, I would just recommend that, because I have such a hard time finding clothes anymore that fit the way that I like them to. And that's just, I think everybody would kind of struggle with that. Like, if you're not shaped within the standard sizes, I'm in between a lot of sizes, like especially with jeans, like they're fit on certain parts of my body on this size, the next size up, it's too big on other parts. So I can't find that happy middle ground, unfortunately. So I've started resorting to making my own stuff, or at least attempting. And what I was getting at is, I don't like making clothes. I think I said that. I don't have good luck with that, but this pattern is so forgiving that it's so simple. I would definitely recommend it. I also have a stretchy jeans pattern from a different company that I'm going to try sometime down the line when I can get the right fabric. So I will show you guys that. Those are also like a pull up with like a yoga type waistband. So they're very forgiving. They're very flattering. I hate jeans that button, no matter, even when I was skinnier, I hated them because they always feel so tight around your tummy area, and it doesn't matter how big or small you are. They're just not meant to be comfortable. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay. So that's it for finished objects. So let me update you on my whips. So first I wanted to show, did I work on this? I worked on this a little bit. I can't remember where I was at last time. So here's that fingering weight dishcloth I was working on. I don't remember if this was where I was at last time. I haven't pulled this out to work on it in a few days. So there's that. Still working along on that. I don't expect to have that done anytime soon, because my focus has been elsewhere. And I will show you that right now. So I have two projects that I'm working on that have kind of taken up all of my attention, if you will, in a good way. So the first one I'm going to update you on is my cowl finally. I finally have a good amount of progress that I wanted to show it, because I made this my focus project, or I guess my TV project. So I have this down in our living room on the couch. So when we're done eating dinner and we're just watching a little bit of TV, this is what I'm grabbing to work on. And that to me is kind of like everybody else's 30 minutes of knitting. I don't wake up, super, super early in the morning or have time necessarily in the morning or the brain focus to concentrate on a crochet or knitting project that early in the morning. So I mostly focus on stuff later in the evening. So anyway, so here is the progress that I've made. Oh, I have it. Let me turn it the other way so that you can see, because I have a marker. And it's going to look a little funny because the yarn is coming up from the other side, because as you go on each round, you turn it inside out to work the other side. But so here is what I have. And here's the marker. So this marker here was the last time that I showed it. So I've done all of that. So quite a bit, and it's very colorful and pretty. I'm very pleased with how this is turning out. This pattern is very easy. It's very fun. It's one that I have basically made up myself. So if this is something, I'm all twisted. I'll fix that later. If this is something that you're interested in as a pattern that you would like to see available, let me know. I know it off the top of my head, so it'd be easy enough for me to write up into a pattern. The only thing is, so if you remember the details about this, I have 2 100-gram skeins of yarn and 3 minis to basically make up 240 grams. I was trying to go with more of an Advent style, like the wallop cowl, that kind of length. However, in my brain, I did not take into consideration that crochet takes up more yarn than knitting does. So what you saw was a little under 50 grams. Or I'm sorry, no, it was a little over 50 grams that had already been used. And I kind of used that as a gauge to use a ruler to figure out, okay, how long would it be potentially when it's done? It's not that long. So it's definitely not going to be something that I could wrap 3 times like I wanted. I wanted something really snug like the wallop cowl. Depending on the length, your size of neck, etc., I think I might be able to wrap it twice when I'm done, which would still be fine. So we'll see. I think if I did release it as a pattern and you wanted it to be longer, it would definitely take up more than 2 skeins of yarn, which might be okay with some people, because if you're kind of in the stash busting mode like I am, then you can just throw some things together or throw some scraps together and just crochet until it's the length that you want and go from there. So we'll see. I might have to do up another one with some scraps or some minis that I have, just to see how that will work, like how much yarn I would have to use for it to be a super long length, but we're not there yet. So, okay. My next project, this is the one that has been taking up my focus for the last 3 days. So if you remember, I started the lounging top the last time I was on here, and I let it sit for a bit. I worked on it a couple of days after that episode, and I just kind of put it aside because I was working on those socks. I wanted to get those done. And when I pulled it back out to work on it again, I did like a row or two, and I measured, and for the size that I was doing, that particular section, which was the back, I needed to do 7.5 inches on the short end, because in the middle you do short rows, so it's a little bit thicker. And I'd only done like 1.5 inches. And my hands and my arm from all the purling, especially those super long rows, just started to kill my hand and my arm. And so I set it down and I thought to myself, no, this just isn't going to work. Because that panel, I had still had about 5 or so inches that I needed to knit. And then I needed to do a second piece for the front and do the same thing. And that is really, that thought of the having to do that a second time is really what made me go, no, this isn't going to work for me right now at this point in my knitting life. So I set it aside. I went back to the drawing board and I was like, okay, what do I want to use this yarn for? Because I'm really wanting to make these tops with these particular yarns that I've discussed, etc. So I went with the Timelines tee. That is a pattern, a free pattern that I talked about many months ago. And I have it printed out in black and white. So my printer is not a color printer. So here is the picture of what that looks like. And this, you can download this. It's not on Ravelry. There is a link on Ravelry to the pattern, but it's on Biscot. Oh, here we go. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Biscot or Biscotti Yarns. If you, focus, yeah, right there. BiscottiYarns.com. It's free. And I'm still on the increasing rounds because as you may have saw in the picture, it is a raglan style V-neck t-shirt. So here's where I am. I've made so much progress. I'm so happy with this. So I'm going to try and there you go. So what you're looking at, so this is the back. This will be the back neck. And then these little wedges here after this increase here and on this side, those are the front pieces that come down into the V-neck. So I am very, very happy with this pattern. It's still the purling of the rose, but I counted out from the pattern. I did some math and figured out for the two largest sizes, because I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with, how many rows that would be. And compared to the other pattern, it really wasn't a lot, because this one gives you a definitive amount of rows. The other one tells you to go by inches. So this was much easier for me to think in my brain, okay, I have this many to do, this many to I get to joining in the round. And it's not really a lot. And if you're smaller than I am, it's going to be even less. So there's that. And I will say the instructions so far, I'm only on, so I wrote a bunch of notes. I do like little check boxes when it tells you to do repeats. This is a free pattern, so I can show it. But I do little check boxes, because you have do this repeat and then do it this many times. So I do that just to help me keep track of where I am. That's just me. So I'm almost at the end of section 2. So when you start, it starts with you cast on, you do your raglan increases, and there's 3 sections for the raglan increases. And then you join in the round and you do a couple more rounds of increasing before you separate for the sleeves and start the body. So I'm thinking, maybe by the end of the week, I will be at the point, maybe before then, hopefully, I will be at the point where I have I've separated for the sleeves and started the body. And then after that, you just, you join in the round, you knit round and round and round. And I'm really looking forward to that. So really easy pattern to understand and to follow. And that other pattern, the lounging tee, it has short row shaping for, I don't know if it's the front and the back. Obviously I was only on the back piece. So that pattern calls for wrap and turns. And I didn't mention this, but instead of the wrap and turns, I did shadow wraps. In case you are maybe doing that pattern or a pattern that's similar to it. I watched a video, I wanted to mention this last time. I watched a video by Roxanne Richardson where she talked about the different types of short rows. And they fall into basically 2 different categories. And you could, if you have a pattern that has one and then you want to use a different one, as long as it's in the same category, you can literally just swap them out. So wrap and turns and shadow wraps fall into the same category. And so I just swapped them out. It was super easy. In case that's something, maybe you don't like to do wrap and turns or you just don't care to learn how, like I did. So I was doing that, but this pattern, you don't have to do any of that short row stuff. You're just doing the raglan increases. And I just find that so much more enjoyable. And that is really making me look forward to, I have some plans for a couple of just basic raglan sweaters. I'm going to use the Flax Light pattern, which is also free. So that's in the future, but I do have that one and yarn already set aside for it. So knowing that with this t-shirt and knowing how easy the raglan increases are, and even the purl rows, I'm just taking them slow and knowing that the end is near. So anyway, I'm hoping to have it join in the round by the next time I talk to you so that you can see it. And I am using a much smaller needle. I did use my gauge swatch from my other shirt to compare because I wrote down everything from that gauge swatch. And I was only off by like a stitch. Again, this pattern, the row gauge was very, very similar. So this calls for a 3.75 millimeter needle. I'm actually using, where is the size? Maybe it's on the other end. I'm using a 2.75. So I'm hoping, cross your fingers, I'm hoping it will fit properly. And I've made notes. I've made notes in here. Like I said, I wrote some notes. I looked in the pattern to see, try it on at this size because this will tell me if I want to do another repeat. And then here on this, right before you separate for the body, there's like 2 sections at the end where it changes between sizes, between the last 2 largest sizes to figure out if you need to do an extra round, And so I have notes on here to remind myself, try it on at this point and go from there to see where I need to go. So hopefully when I get to those sections, pray for me, that it will fit properly. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. I restarted this on Sunday. So I've only been working on it for 2 days and that's my progress. It's the only thing that I really wanted to work on because I'm really itching to get to that joining in the round. So I'm very, very pleased with it. It makes me very, very excited to use up some other yarn combos that I have already mentally picked out for this pattern because I think they will look beautiful. And at least 2 of them will have like 1 color for the top, and then I have 2 same colors that will be for the rest of the bottom. So I think it'll be a really cool t-shirt. So, and those are definitely more summer yarns. Like this is a cotton blend, so I won't have them all done this summer, but eventually. And it'll be nice to have those in my wardrobe. Okay. So that's it. That's all I have. Like I said, I'm really trying to be more conscious of my projects and making sure that I'm not overwhelming myself with too many cast-ons. So I don't even have a pair of socks on the needles, you guys. Like, I thought about that yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a pair of socks on the needles. What? I do have plans for a pair of socks. I'm just waiting until I get in the round on that shirt. That's kind of like my goal point. But I'll show you. You already saw it last week, but now I have it caked up. And you guys, I dare to say that this is the prettiest cake of yarn ever. Like, the colors are just amazing. So this is that yarn from Indigo Guinea Fibers. I mean, I don't know if the camera really does the colors justice. Looking a little bright. There, maybe that's a little better. There we go. But it's so... The colors are just amazing. When I caked this up and I looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I've just been dying to cast it on. But at the same time, I'm really loving working on this t-shirt. So I'm just going with it. And like I've said before, the yarn's not going anywhere. So there's no need to overwhelm myself, rush, and cast on a bunch of crazy things. So we're just gonna take it one day at a time. Okay, so I don't have any mail. There's no mail. So are you guys ready to see the summer bag collection? I'm so excited about this. Out of all of the collections I've put together for this year, because I already have them, almost all of them planned in advance, this is the one I'm most excited about. It's just amazing. Okay, let me grab these and we'll get started with the show and tell. Okay, so I'm going to start with, first of all, there are five different prints to pick from. These are going to be, I'm going to release the pre-order this Thursday, so April 20th, and I'm going to run that until the 25th. So it's going to be a short pre-order, and that's only because I really want to get these out to you guys by the end of May. And depending on the amount of orders, blah, 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 they might come to you quicker. So as most of you have probably already watched the video, you've already seen this announcement on Instagram or wherever on social media, you know that the Crazy Sock Lady for Summer Sock Camp, she's not doing anything big. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned knit along. She's taking it back to just the community piece, no sponsored items, none of that stuff. She will have some Spreadshirt shop stuff with a logo, but that's it. There's going to be no shops like mine last year. I was a sponsored item along with a bunch of other people, and that was great, and I loved it. But when Summer Sock Camp when Summer Sock Camp got over last year, I already had in my brain some ideas of what I wanted to make for the following year, and I had started planning my 2023 bag releases back in like October of last year. So obviously way before her announcement. And I wasn't sure if she was going to have sponsors the same as last year, blah, 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 etc. Regardless, I had already planned these. So keep that in mind. These are not sponsored by the Crazy Sock Lady. They're not specifically sponsored by Summer Sock Camp or anything like that. But they are themed for that. So the first one, and there's three because I couldn't pick which three, and I had to do them all. So here's the first one. Can you guys read that? Look at that. Sock Madness Forever. Is that not so adorable? I just had to. So this is the snap version. I made all my samples in snap, but, and here will be the inside. It's that same pinstripe polka dot print. I think it looks very nice and classy. So we have Sock Madness Forever. And then we have, I'm calling this Knit All the Socks. And this actually has a different print. This has this kind of denim polka dot blue inside, but this is Knit All the Socks. And this, it's not showing up very well on the camera, but this is kind of, maybe it is. This is kind of a creamy background. So that'll be that. And this last one, this is kind of a more cheeky, maybe not for everyone kind of print, but if this is your thing, then you'll find it funny. So, so there's this one, and it says, "Let's get toasted." And I will say I was definitely inspired by Ginny from Mountain State Stitches last year. I did buy one of her the camping s'mores bags that she had from the shop, from the Crazy Sock Lady shop last year. So I do have one, so I was inspired to do something similar. And I think this is just adorable. But this may not be everybody's cup of tea. So, and this one does have the blue print as well. So, these three specifically Summer Sock Camp, quote unquote, bags, these three, I can't even hold them up. There we go. These three will be only available in small, but you can order them in drawstring, zipper, or snap. So, because they're specifically sock related project bags, I'm only offering them in small. So there's those. I hope you guys are excited. I've been like dying to show these forever, since I made the sample, since I bought the fabric. And I can't tell you how many videos I've recorded in the last like 6 months where I have shown it in clips and then I've cut it out in editing because I'm like, no, it's not the time. It's not the time. So there's those. And the other two are more like a summer theme, just in general. So, and these, these are like probably hands down out of every bag that I'm making this year. These two are like 1 and 2, top 2. So here they are. I'm just going to show them to you at once because they are gloriously cute. So hopefully there you go. This one's like, okay, so this one first, this is Pink Lemonade. I mean, is that not the most adorable print? I love this so much. You slap a mason jar and some stripes on something and I love it. I love it so much. And this has the same pinstripe bag in the lining. And this was the bag I was referring to that will go perfect with this yarn. So if you bought the Daisy Stitch Go box from last month, I mean, look at that. Are these not meant to be together? Hello. So next month, mine will be going in here. And this one, I couldn't tell how about, this is kind of getting blown out on the screen. It's really hard to tell. So there's more accurate, but if you look up close, there you go. These are fireflies in mason jars. Is that not just so cute? This made me, I mean, this is just summer to me. Like when I would go to my grandparents' house in Tennessee, like this, we would do this all the time as kids. It's pick, catch fireflies or lightning bugs, whatever you call it. I call them lightning bugs, but I know most people call them fireflies. So there's that. And this also has the same pinstripe fabric. So these two summer bags, these will be available in all sizes and all types. So small, medium, large, snap, drawstring, or zipper. These two only. So you can get these in any size that you want. So if you're working on a summer blanket or a sweater or a t-shirt like I am, you can get these in a larger size and put that project in there for summer. Or if you just want to get a bigger one of these and, I don't know, just hold a bunch of sock projects or whatever. So I am so, so excited to be releasing these and getting these made for you guys. These are just like, I'm excited for summer. I don't know about you, but it's just, I'm ready. The weather turned on us here. And a side note, the weather turned on us. It was hot. It was very hot, like 80. And now it's like 40 and 50 and 60 degrees. So, it's all over the place and it's lovely. So anyway, yes, these will be available on my website for pre-order April 20th through the 25th. And I know last time I did the pre-order, I had some people had some issues. They thought they ordered it, but they didn't. But that's the only place you can order it. I probably won't do a second round for any of these. I just wanted to put that out there now. So if these are something that you're wanting, I would go ahead and grab it now. Because unless there's like an overwhelming demand later down the line, like, June or something for the camp specific bags, this will be the only time that I release these and make them. So that is that. Yes. Oh, and speaking of shop stuff, right now I have every in-stock item in my shop, which isn't a whole lot. Thank you very much to everybody that's been kind of helping me clear the shelves, if you will. Everything is 50% off. All the rest of the bags that I have left, I have some Progress Keepers. Those are half off as well. And the yarn cozies, the ones that I have left are actually 75% off. So they're all like, I have a couple minis. I have some regular size. They're all $1. So if you wanted to grab a bag and then grab a couple yarn cozies, they're super, super cheap right now. And I'm just trying to basically clear out the inventory that I have left since I am going to a pre-order model. So just trying to clear the decks and yeah. So everything's 50% off. Head on over to my website if you want to see if there's something in the shop that piques your interest, or you can wait and order it with your pre-order. A note on that is on the website, I do note that if you order in-stock items with the pre-order, they will all ship together. I will not ship them separately. So if you want an in-stock item shipped immediately, put in 2 separate orders. So I think that's going to be it for today. So I hope you guys are excited for the summer release. I'm more than ready for summer sock camp. I think some of you guys are too. And I'm just ready for the warm weather and all of the things that come with summer. So, and I hope to have some progress on my shirt next time to show you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day and a great week. And let me know what you guys are working on in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. God bless. Bye.